Hey guys, JSimLady here. Welcome back. Today I am building a little starter house for one in Paralives. Let's get into it. Maybe it's just me, and I know I mention this a lot in my Paralives videos, and I'll probably mention it a few more times just in this video alone. But it does very much, like the art style does very much lend itself more towards a country or cottage aesthetic than it does a modern aesthetic. And that's why I feel like I always want to build a country or cottagey type house rather than a modern house. But I think I'm gonna challenge myself to see if I can truly actually build a modern house in Paralives. I saw my daughter starting to do one time because she wanted to play around with the build mode and everything, and she actually got it looking pretty good, but I don't know if she was ever able or wanted to finish it. I'm gonna be super honest, the more I build in this game, especially in a little bit here, you'll see there's a problem with the kitchen wall, and I can't fix it because if I delete the wall, it deletes everything that's next to it for some reason. All of the furniture and everything, which is very odd to me. That's something that should definitely be changed in the future. But I made the first part of the wall of the bump out door section, and then I added the second part of that kitchen wall where the fridge and the window are right now afterwards. So they're not technically connected according to the game. They're not one solid wall. They're two separate pieces of wall. And so the second thing that you'll notice here in a minute is that when you try to use patterned wallpapers on a space like that, it doesn't work because the pattern doesn't match up. I'm gonna say something that's gonna make a lot of people angry, and I think The Sims handle that better. The way this works, you see me changing it as two separate pieces, the one wall section and then the rest of the wall section. And you caught a little glimpse there of how the pattern doesn't match up between the two. This build mode, there it is again right there. The pattern doesn't match up, and I tried to fix it, but it deleted everything in the room because of it. It's very weird to me that the wall will connect to the furniture and the floors, but it won't connect to another wall piece. That does not make sense to me. And again, the bedroom did the same thing. So, anyways, like I was gonna say, this very much reminds me of a building in the Roblox game Bloxburg. I love Bloxburg. My daughter and I have been playing it basically since it was released. And it's a great game. It's a great game for kids who want to build and do all that kind of stuff, but maybe are not quite at the age that their parents want them to have something like Paralives or The Sims, because there are some older teen and adult situations and things in these games versus on Roblox, mostly. We're not going to discuss Roblox. That's a whole other issue, but you know what I mean, right? And so it's a great alternative game for kids, and it works very extremely similarly to Paralives. If you build the wall in sections, it does not connect. It was so surreal seeing that in a game outside of Bloxburg in like I don't want to say Roblox games are not legit games because they absolutely are. And if rebuilt from scratch in another coding language, they could be ported off of Roblox easily enough. But you know what I mean, right? When I say, like, a legit game versus that sounds so rude. I'm sorry. Roblox games are legit games. It's just, how else do you explain it? A non-Roblox game versus a Roblox game? I don't know. I guess I expected more from people who have stronger engines to work with to build their games. The Roblox engine for game building is very simple because it was initially aimed at teenagers and children and people who maybe weren't as in depth at coding and stuff to begin with. It's gotten a lot more complicated over the years, but it's, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. The point is, I expect more of a game like this, even if it is an indie game. If you build an expanse of walls and they are all supposed to be connected, then they should all connect. So you can put wallpaper on a wall, even if you built that wall in 10 different sections. And the pattern should span the entire length of the wall. And it just reminds me of a cheap, free mobile or Roblox game where it doesn't work that way. Does any of that make sense? I don't know if I'm explaining it right. It really annoyed me that I could not fix that wall. The other thing that annoyed me was you saw me working a lot in the bathroom. The bathtubs, if you build the walls on the grid, the bathtubs and showers do not fit. They look like they're two tiles and they look like they should fit in a two tile spot, but they don't. They don't fit within the walls if you build on the grid. And if you build outside of the grid, I don't know that you could get it that close without it being an issue. I know you can build walls outside of the grid. I know that, but I don't think you can literally freely build them anywhere. I could be wrong, but I don't think you can literally freely build them anywhere. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is the scale is not right. So bathtubs and showers don't fit between two grids. And then you have a bathtub and shower that looks like it's supposed to have two walls, one on either side. Can't, because the bathtub goes into the wall. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm not doing a good job at explaining these things, but the scale is a little off and the wall unity is what I would call it, is way off and does not work properly at all. And those are definitely two things that can be incredibly annoying when you're trying to build a house, is that you can't really fit a bathtub shower combo between two walls. I'm gonna have to do a video in the future showing exactly what I mean, and not a speed build video, but like showing exactly what I mean about bathtubs not fitting and walls not unifying, becoming one, and you end up decorating them piece by piece, and so the patterns don't match up. I think I'll do that video very, very soon after this one. I don't know if they are things that can be fixed, if they purposely made the game this way. I don't know why their scale is off on certain things. Like, look at that hutch. That hutch is tiny in comparison to the shower. The shower is massive and takes up a lot of room and goes into the walls. And it should only be a one tile shower, you know what I mean? But this hutch should be a full 2-tile hutch, and yet it barely takes up half a tile. Actually, it should only be a 1 full tile depth-wise. You get what I'm saying? The scale of objects is a little bit slightly off. It's like 3 different people were doing these things. One person was deciding on the scale of the build tiles, another was deciding the scale of showers and bathtubs, and then a third person was deciding the scale of some of the other furniture. And there's no, I guess, consensus between them, because it feels, that hutch almost feels wrong and like a child's toy in comparison to some of the other furniture in there. The roofs are a whole other issue. I'm not even going to talk about the roofs right now. They're annoying, even more so than the Sims roofs, and you can't make them look connected either. You will always have one that is slightly below the other when you do a roof, a double gabled roof like this. That's really annoying. Despite all of these annoyances, I actually really do love Paralives and love building in it. So, as odd as that may be. But anyways, we're almost done with the speed build part, and I spent the whole video complaining. I think I complained a lot in this video because this particular build was the most annoying of all of them that I've done so far, and the most difficult to do, just because the scale and stuff didn't match up the way I really wanted it to. But again, anyways, we're almost done, and then we will get to the walkthrough. I didn't have any money for landscaping, so this is what your paras get to start out with, is this very, very basic house. Hopefully your paras enjoy it, even though it is basic, and let's do that walkthrough now. And here we have it, a quaint little country cabin, not cabin, cottage? Cottage, yeah? Yeah, we'll go with cottage. A quaint little country cottage for maybe one. I was thinking one, but I guess you could fit 2 paras in here. There's plenty of room for entertaining friends in the very large, open, great room here. I did not break this up into separate rooms because that costs a lot more money. And this way you can have a really long kitchen, which gives you plenty of space. You could add 2 more dining chairs on here and have 4 paras sitting at the table together. And there's lots of space to add more stuff into the living room as well. But this is a good starting out place for a para who is just getting started in the world. Then you have the bathroom here, basic shower, toilet, sink, not much to say about that. The bedroom is quite plain. I did run out of money, and there isn't much I could do in here, but probably your paras are not going to spend a ton of time in their bedroom anyways, because they're gonna probably be entertaining friends out here, so it doesn't really matter that much when you're first starting out. Plus, again, you start out with way more money than I actually built this house for, so you can add little touches in there. There's also a huge, huge backyard to expand into if your para needs or wants to. And yeah, there you have it. Just a simple little country cottage, I guess. Starter home for your paras. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, happy Pride, everyone. I will see you in the next one. Bye.